And once they kind of started playing around him, he got his swagger back.
Welcome to Wired to the Game.
What is up, everyone? You're wired in with the homie EJ. Today's guest is a first-team All-State, Gatorade Player of the Year nominee, WV State champion, and three-time WV State Cup winner, and as well as 9th, 10th, and 11th grade varsity letterman for soccer. The homie Jackson Schroeder.
What's going on?
Not much, man. Not much, man. How's it going today?
It's good, man. Just been chilling. Hit up the soccer fields earlier, trained a little bit. Not much going on.
There's really no off season for you.
Nope, not at all. Just soccer and repeat.
So, all right. So back to what I was saying in the intro. How does it feel to be a state champion?
It definitely feels really good. In the moment, it's surreal. That final buzzer sounds, and you're thinking like we're state champs. Like all of that work we put in throughout the season, it paid off, and it really felt good. Just to win it for the city of Beckley.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So you obviously before your state champion, you probably had that feeling. When did that feeling happen? When you was like, "Oh, we can win states."
I think probably after last year, 10th grade. We lost in region to George Washington 3-1. After that, I started immediately looking at next year and saying like, this is our year. I got 2 years left. I feel like I can win it both years. And not a lot of people agreed. Not a lot of people said that we could win it this year. But I just wanted to prove everyone wrong. So last year, I think that's when I was really like, we can do this next year.
So, all right. So, what game was that? Was that like during regionals, like sectionals,
Yeah.
like
during regionals, like right after the loss, I immediately started thinking, like, we got to get back here.
And you got right back in the lab, and you got right back to it.
Oh yeah, that's how we do it.
So, all right. So it was like, was it like a 24-hour thing? Like you was like you soaked the loss for 24 hours, then you got right back in there, or was it like the day right, like literally right after?
I probably after we lost, I probably took a week. Just chilled, came home, just took naps, got caught up on sleep, and then just got right back in the lab. Getting out to the fields, working out, just being consistent with that, and just having that mindset really helped me, push me forward. That like I want to be a state champion. It really helped a lot.
All right. So, what was probably the best moment of the season for you this year, besides the state?
Yeah, that was good. Probably I got two. So number one, probably my goal. I scored a goal, my first ever high school goal was against George Washington at G Dub. So it's a team like I never beat. I don't think we had beat them since like 2010 at G Dub, and my first ever high school goal came in that game, and we won 2-0. I scored the first one. That was really good. Really hype. It was about mid-season, and then probably the second one. It was the second to last game of the regular season. We went down to Huntington, and it's like 35 degrees, and it's raining. It's just terrible conditions. We got down 2-0 in the first half, and we played terrible in the first half, and we came out in the second half playing better. And I think around midway through, we got our first goal, and then I want to say like 5 minutes left, we scored the second one, so we tied it up 2-2. And we thought we'd just get a tie, but then we went on and won the game with like a minute left, and it was just crazy. The atmosphere, and with it being that cold, it just made it a lot better.
Mm-hmm. So, like, all right, so how did y'all win that game? Well, you said it was 2-2. Like, how did y'all win that game the last minute? Like, can you break it down?
Yeah, so I remember, I think I played it to, I remember I got the ball, and I'm going up the sideline. I play it to, I want to say, it's whoever was on the wing, and he plays it into, Kobe, I believe. Kobe tries to like turn I think he tried. I don't know what he tried to do really, but it hit off the defender and popped out to AJ Bishop. And AJ, it's on the outside of the box. Just steps up with his left foot and just hits it one time, like hits it right in the corner. And so that it wasn't a crazy build up, but it was a really nice goal. So
Hey, you got the win. That's all that matters.
oh yeah, we were happy with it.
So so would you say that's probably the craziest moment of your high school career, like that right there?
It's definitely up there. Uh, I mean, obviously, winning states is up there. You know, any big wins, over the years. You know, you that's what you play for. You play for the big wins. Get in the crowd, especially when we have a big crowd. You know, they're staying on their feet, cheering for y'all. It's just the moments like that, probably the best for.
So all right, so what has been inspiration for you to keep playing soccer when it got tough, like when times got tough, kind of adversity hit?
Uh, when it gets tough, you know, you just gotta think. You know, I just keep the same mindset. You know, I'm gonna get through this like tough patch. I'm gonna, get out of this slump. You know, because I have goals. You know, to play like at a higher level, and if I keep thinking about the tough patches, that's never gonna happen. So you know, you gotta keep being consistent, and you gotta keep working on your weaknesses. Especially, I like to look at my weaknesses and try to improve those, so then I don't really have any flaws. So when it gets tough, I just keep pushing and just I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna be good. You know, I just gotta keep working on my game, and that's really helped me a lot.
Mhm. So all right, so so where are the expectations for next year for soccer since y'all won the state championship this year?
Uh, we want to go back to back. I think we have a good chance to. It's gonna be tough though. I feel like every team in the state doesn't want us to go back to back. So they're all gonna be planning to stop us. But I think we just got to keep the mindset right. You know, we got to know nothing's given. You know, we got to earn it. And I think we have a good chance to, but we just gotta go one game at a time.
I was because it was kind of unexpected for y'all to win states this year. Nobody really expected it, and y'all went out and did it. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like nobody really believed that we could, and I think that fueled us even more. You know, we wanted to win, obviously, really bad, but no one really believed in us, so that really um gave us more fuel to just like let's prove everyone wrong. Let's do it. Like, why not us?
understand. So all right, so what are your personal goals for soccer?
I I would obviously like to play, at a higher level. That's always been my goal since day one of playing soccer, whether it be D3, D2, D1. I want to play and continue to get better and better, and um, may hopefully even go professional somewhere. I think that would be really nice. I just those are the main goals. If I just get a chance, I want to make sure that they make the right choice.
Mm. So like, who do you base your goals? Who do you base your game off of? Kind of.
Um, I don't really like focus too much on a specific player. I like take traits from each individual player that I watch. There's one. He's a center back. I like to take his like defending, his physicality, but then there's another right back who I want to take his crossing and dribbling. So I try to like combine them together and master each individual part, like aspect. So I don't really base it off of one player too much. I try to be like versatile and to where I can play any position on the field.
All right. So talking about that, what is probably the most underrated part of your game?
Uh, probably probably my passing. As a defender, not a lot of people, look at the passing, but if there's like a through ball over the top, 40-yard ball, I feel like I can play anywhere where it needs to be, and people don't realize how hard it is to play it in the gaps, like in between two players. I feel like I can do that pretty well. Um, I would probably say that's definitely my most underrated part. I think I'm a good passer personally.
So, all right. So, how often do you work out? Like, how often do you work out kind of for soccer? Like, is it like a three a day thing, 2 a day thing? Like, what's the goal and the routine kind of?
So I try to work out, any day I don't have work. I work Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So any of those days, even Saturdays, I do sometimes because I work in the morning. So I will normally lift weights. I try to lift weights Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So 4 times a week. And then I've practiced soccer practice on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and sometimes Sundays. So if I can normally get to the fields by myself 2 or 3 times a week, I think that's really beneficial for me. I I'll probably go a couple times this week, just because with school and everything, you get busy. So in the summer, it'll definitely be, I'll try to get out there 4 times, 5 times a week. And after that, probably just go over to the gym and lift as well. So I'm doing those 4 or 5 times a week as well.
So you said since day one you've been prioritizing soccer. Like, when? So when was that age when you kicked into overdrive kind of? And you was like, oh, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna work as hard as I can so I can get to this position kind of.
Probably after 8th grade. I played basketball in middle school and soccer. I played them both. I'd always kind of played both soccer and basketball. And after 8th grade, going into Woodrow, I was like, I really want to focus on soccer. So that's when I kind of just stopped playing basketball, and just mainly focused on soccer because I believed that I had a better chance at soccer than I did in basketball. So I really prioritized soccer.
Mhm. So like, who kind of helped you with that, or was it like you did it yourself kind of? Like you kind of worked yourself at it.
Um, I I'd always gotten told that like I look more natural in soccer. Like my parents told me that. They never said I couldn't play basketball. They said like just that I look more natural in soccer. So I took that into account. I talked it over with them in the off season, between 8th and 9th grade year, and ultimately I just came to the decision that I wanted to stick to soccer. And I mean, each year after that, I'd maybe thought about playing basketball, but it just with travel soccer and ID camps, everything like that, I just wanted to mainly focus on soccer.
I understand. I understand. All right. So all right. So we're gonna change gears a little bit. We're gonna talk about football if that's okay.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right. So obviously the draft happens. All right, happens Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So what team were you mostly surprised with, kind of in that draft?
Um, I got probably two teams. For one, the Steel. I'm a Steelers fan. Um, we don't really have a quarterback, so I'm surprised it took us until round 6 to draft Will Howard. I figured we'd try to get Shador, or at least one of the quarterbacks above Will Howard. I think Will Howard is pretty good, but I was kind of surprised it took us 6 rounds. And also, we got 2 defensive tackles. So I don't know if that's the right move. We'll find out next season. Hopefully it is. But also, another team, the Browns, not mainly because they drafted Shador. Like, I'm not mad at them drafting Shador. I don't understand why you would draft 2 quarterbacks in the same draft. I didn't get that because now they have 5 on the active roster, and I don't get that why you would do that.
Yeah. For me, obviously, I'm surprised about the Steelers as well because I feel like, bro, yeah, you're trying to get Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, you're picking up Will Howard, who's like you can shape him into a quarterback kind of, but it's like if Aaron Rodgers is gone after a year, then that's going to help, but it's not also. But I'm also mostly surprised with the Saints because they picked up Tyler Shaw in the second round.
Yeah, that's another one. I thought they'd get Shador at 9, honestly. I don't know. I thought there were every single quarterback picked in the draft I thought was better than Tyler Shaw. So I don't know how you pick him, but I don't know.
Yeah, not only better, but at the same time, there's also more healthier. Plus, Tyler Shaw, I believe, is 25, 26. So it's like you could have got Shador, who's 22 years old, and Tyler Shaw, he's older. But at the same time, if you get Shador, you also get a quarterback that's like for college, he has 70% a 70.1% completion rate, 134 passing TDs, and only 27 interceptions. I feel like honestly, that's just better. Yeah, you could say he has Travis Hunter, but at the same time, all these other quarterbacks have big weapons too. It's like.
Yeah, I think the main reason why Shador dropped was his attitude, his ego. You know, he didn't throw at the combine. He just did media interviews. I don't. I think character is a important part on like drafting a player. You know, you want to draft someone who helps the team out on and off the field. But overall, talent wise, Shador's not a 5th round pick. He's got to be higher than that. I feel like.
Honestly, on my board, I had him going in the first round. I had him either going to the Browns or if he slipped, the highest I had him slipping was to the Steelers for the fact that they don't have a quarterback. And even then, if you get Aaron Rodgers, you're probably only going to have him for a year. So, like, worst case scenario, you have him sit behind Aaron and you have him learn. But, like, at the same time, you pick up Will Howard. It's like Will Howard's a great competitor, great leader, great locker room guy. But at the same time, I don't know about what's going to happen in the NFL for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the plan is at quarterback, honestly. I don't know if we'll get Aaron Rodgers. If we do, I wouldn't be, mad or happy, really. We'll just have to see how it plays out. I don't think he's obviously not in his prime. Maybe Will Howard develops. I don't know. But as of right now, I would say Mason Rudolph's the starting quarterback, and then Will Howard will probably take over midseason.
Man, to be honest with you, sources are saying that they're getting closer to sign that eke with Aaron Rodgers. But think about it. Just like last year, he had 28 TDs, 11 interceptions, but he didn't make the playoffs. And I understand why, because the Jets didn't do as well. But at the same time, the year before that, he got injured in 4 plays. So you got to kind of be worried about that injury if that does happen to him again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we get him, good. If we don't get him, I mean, you just gotta trust the ownership. I think we have the weapons around them. We drafted a running back, and we have DK Pickens. I think we have, on the defensive side, Minka, Watt, all of those guys.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be fine. We just gotta figure out the goal for quarterback.
Yeah, because you also got Joey Porter Jr. But yeah, like you said, y'all picked up DK Metcalf, but at the same time, sources are also talking about they're ready to get rid of George Pickens. I don't know if that's true or not, but they're talking about they're ready to get rid of George Pickens and move on. But at the same time, I feel like you wouldn't get rid of him because just for the fact he's a young wide receiver. So it's like and he's really good. So like I don't know what you would do if you got away from him because then you'd only have you'd have Metcalf. He's a great wide receiver 1. But you want to have a quarterback and you want to have a wide receiver too. So, like.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we need to get rid of him. It's kind of the same thing along the lines of Shador. Pickens is a little, off the field. He's not the greatest, or not really off the field. It's really just on the field. He's been accused of like low effort plays.
Yeah, like when the ball don't go his way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd be mad if I wasn't getting thrown the ball if I'm wide open. But Pickens, if he's getting double teamed, I mean, I don't know how he wants us to get him the ball, but I don't know.
Yeah, you can't just force the ball in there because you want the ball and you're not wide open. Like you can't just let that happen.
No. for sure.
But yeah, another surprise I'm surprised at is the fact that, like you said, the Browns drafted Dylan Gabriel before Shador. Me personally, I feel like Shador is a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel for the simple fact that he had a worse O-line and he still put up the type of numbers he did. Like you could say, oh, he didn't throw the ball out of bounds because he didn't mess up his completion rate. He still had way better stats than Dylan Gabriel did. That's the thing about it. And Dylan Gabriel was on a way better Oregon team. That's the thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think Shador is probably at worst the third best quarterback in the draft. Maybe fourth if you want to put Milroe over him. I think Cam Ward and Jackson Dart and Shador close. Milroe you could put above him on the fact that Milroe has probably the most potential.
Yeah.
He probably landed in the best situation because he gets a couple years to develop while Sam Darnold's starting for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone else in the draft is better than Shador.
Definitely not Tyler Shaw. That's the thing about that. Because Tyler Shaw, I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad on the guy, but at the same time, it's the fact that you've been injured so many times and you got picked second round. Whereas Shador, yeah, I think he broke something in his back, his vertebrae, I believe. But he still came back and he still did what he had to do for the Colorado team. And you could say, yeah, he had Heisman, Travis Hunter, and all that. That's one wide receiver. It's other teams like Mac Jones, for instance, when he was at Alabama, he had a locker room full of guys that were able to get the ball. Like he had Jalen Waddle, Devontae, I had all of them. Nobody bats an eye. But then Shador has Travis Hunter who won the Heisman. They like, oh, he only did that because he had Travis Hunter. Like I just don't get that.
Yeah, for sure. I think college and NFL is completely different. You got college, you have all of these guys around you. Like you mentioned, Mac Jones. You're throwing to 5 stars. You're throwing to 3 wide receivers who were former 5 stars all game. I mean, they're obviously most of the time going to make you look good. And then when you get drafted, you may look like a first round pick. You get drafted, and then you go into the league where you're not on a good team, and you don't have a good old line. You don't have good receivers. You don't have good coaches. Don't have a good defense. It takes time to build up. I think that's how the Titans will be. I think Cam Ward will be good for the Titans. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy in his first year, but it takes time to rebuild a team. And I think if they build around him truly, I think they'll be fine as well. It's just I really think it's about the situation you land in.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you because like Cam Ward, he landed in an okay situation. Like he didn't land in the worst situation. Obviously, I mean he's starting. That's probably not a good thing. I mean, from the past looking at it, because like you've had guys like Anthony Richardson who didn't do as good when he came in, but he's also think about him, Anthony Richardson though. He's high potential though. He's like if you hit, then you hit.
Yeah, it's just about the development. Honestly, and how they develop. I think Anthony Richardson, I'm not ready to give up on him yet. Honestly, I think he's still young. He'll have time this year. I think to just see how he does. But that's what I was saying about Milroe. I think he landed in the best situation because he's not forced to just throw right in QB1. He's going to be behind Darnold, learning how to. People like criticize his passing. He's going to develop passing. We know he can run the ball. He has a freakishly athletic frame. He's a good build. I think Milroe in the next couple of years, if he does develop, it's just all about how they develop. You can't really tell right now, but I think if he does develop, I feel like he has maybe even higher potential than Cam Ward.
Honestly, I don't disagree with that for the fact that Jalen Milroe, he ran like a 4.39, I believe. So that's freakishly high as a quarterback. And thing about it, he also did pretty good at Alabama. Everybody forgot about that throw he did against Auburn. Like now, I know that's one throw, but still that shows potential that he can make those type of throws. Whereas like Cam Ward, I feel like he's going to do really good for the Titans for the simple fact that it's like he has a few good wide receivers, and also the Titans started picking up weapons slowly. Like they picked up Gunnar Helm in like the 4th round, I believe it is, and then they picked up another wide receiver. So I'm looking like at least they're attempting to get him weapons.
Yeah, I think if they build around Cam, I feel like they'll be give them a couple years, they'll be pretty solid back in the playoffs. Um, I I think Cam Ward's, he's good. I feel like it'll take him a couple games to get adjusted. Titans don't have the best offensive line compared to Miami. Cam Ward could just dance around in the pocket. He's not going to be able to do that in the league. It'll take him a couple games to get adjusted to it, and when he does, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Just like Bryce Young. Bryce Young, he just needed a change of scenery. He got David Kells, the quarterback guru coach, and now all of a sudden he's starting to take off immediately. Like he's starting to do really good. And then they went out and shopped him and got him a wide receiver in the 8th round, eighth pick with Tyron McMillan. Like that was just
Oh, yeah.
They hit it right on the nail.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Young. You kind of feel bad for him. He looks great at Alabama. You throw him into the Panthers, he's not in a good situation. They weren't good. And he's taking most sacks like all per game. He's taking most sacks per game. He's having to like make heaves on 4th down. You're not gonna be successful when you do that. And they benched him, thinking it was him, but it never was him. It was always his team around him. And once they kind of started playing around him, he got his swagger back, and I think the Panthers are gonna have a breakout year. I really do.
I hope so. Speaking of that, who do you think are winners of the draft?
Definitely, in my opinion, probably the best winner of the draft was the Giants. I think they addressed a lot of needs. They picked up Abdul Carter. They got themselves a quarterback for the future in Jackson Dart. And also Dart won't have to come in and play immediately. He'll have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in front of him probably at the start of the season. I think they're both on 1-year deals, so that could mean Dart next year. It's his time. But yeah, I think the Giants addressed a lot of their needs. They got Cam Scatterbo as well at running back. They got him like not too late, but later rounds. I think that they're building for the future, and the Giants haven't had too good of luck in the past years. So if they can get something right, I think this draft class was a good start.
Yeah, I feel like Jackson Dart. Yeah, he's your QB of the future. He's a big question mark to me because like he's had some games where he's performed amazing, and then he's had some down games. It's like, what are we doing here? And then you traded up for him, so like if you don't hit, and then you're just I don't know, you're kind of out of luck because I'm pretty sure they traded their first pick for next year too for him. So I'm like, it just depends. But for me, I feel like he's a big question mark for me.
I agree. You can't really tell yet how he'll perform because he's just inconsistent. I think give him a year probably to develop. Hopefully he won't have to do too much this year. Not all the eyes will be on him. Give him a year to develop and then see where it goes from there. But I do think if he hits, chances are Abdul Carter is going to hit as well. If they both hit, then that's a good start for the future.
My thing about it though, you know who did this before anybody else might trade it up like this? The Texans. That's why everybody's trying to do it because they got C.J. Stroud and they got Will John Anderson. We're all looking around like, what are they doing? What are they doing right now? You're training with next year's pick for this, and then you see that they made the playoffs, and you're like, oh snap, maybe we should do that. Like the Vikings did last year, and this year now it's the Giants. So like, I don't know. It's to me it's bold.
Yeah, it definitely is. Trading away a pick, obviously, especially a future pick. Who knows how it could go next year? If the Giants injuries could hit them this year, or they could just not play good, they could have like the 3rd pick next year. They traded away. So you hope that doesn't happen. I would like to think that Giants fans definitely don't want that to happen. They want to be probably good this year. And so then they don't have to worry too much about the future, and that they think that the future is on their team right now. They don't have to worry about going and getting a guy.
For me, my winners are the Patriots because think about it, they got Stephon Diggs, they got Harold Landry, and they assessed their lineman needs with picking up Morgan Moses in the draft and many other players. And then as well as getting Will Campbell with their first pick. And then they got electric running back in Travion Henderson. They got the center from Georgia, Jared Wilson, as well as picking up CBs and defensive help. Like, I just feel like the Patriots just absolutely hit it on the nail in this draft.
Yeah, I agree. That was another good one as well. Will Campbell. We saw what Drake May could do last year on the Patriots, and you want to surround him. You want to protect him.
Yeah.
I think that's a great step is getting Will Campbell because he's just a dog. I really like how he plays. He's really good.
Yeah. To talk about in the free agency, literally, I'm worried about Isaiah Bond because Isaiah Bond should have been. He was projected to go early first round, and right now he's currently hasn't been picked up by a team.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw something today. He like weighs less than 165 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's obviously going to be an issue in the NFL. If you got a guy at 160, I'm 150. So you're telling me this guy is 10 pounds heavier than me. He's fast and everything, but in the league, all the corners are fast. All the starting corners are fast. You can't just kill them with speed in the league. Most of the time you can't. That's the difference between the NFL and college. If you're only in a 4-3, you're scoring touchdowns every game. But in the league, you think about it, John Ross, he had the record for a long time and didn't do anything in the league. He had the 40, didn't do anything in the league. So speed isn't the only aspect of the league. So I think he should get picked up. But we'll see like how he does, and it's gonna depend on where he goes.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. So thank you for your time today, Jackson.
Yes, sir.
And y'all stay wired in and show my boy some Jackson some love down below.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Thank you for your time, man.
Yes, sir.